everybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Rachel, could you just see if the volume's on all the way up on my phone so that everybody could hear, please? I know yeah, terrific. Thank you. All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, for Facebook Live Talk Forum tonight on Sunday. This is, what day is today? September 12th, right? Yeah. Okay. So tonight we're going to be talking about answering questions, doing lots of really cool stuff in terms of answering questions for spiritual stuff, getting information from universe, from love, all right? And we are based here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, at the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. That is a love energy healing and teaching center for both people and pets. And the Copper Dragon is a higher vibrational product and gift shop. And so we do our Facebook Lives here, and you can come in person. Tonight we have Wendy and Steve and Molly and Jennifer and Rachel here this evening. I feel like it may be kind of quiet because one of the things I know they have going on this weekend locally is a spiritual show here. So if that's the case, and depending on who comes on, get your questions ready, everybody, because that's what we're here to do in this talk forum. We're here to assist everybody from love, how to live your lives from love, how to have the best and greatest solutions from love, all higher knowing of love energy that is God, right? So whatever your issues are, we're here to answer them as well as teach so that you have all the tools that you need into the new world that is coming and that is really here now with what's going on and all the changes in Earth world. Okay, so that said, hi Wendy, hi Steve, and Jen,
hey.
And thank you Rachel too, and Jen, thank you everybody too for coming. Hi Molly back there. All right, and I got my trusty tea for tonight, and what is my tea? Hibiscus peach tea. It's fantastic to help and assist with blood pressure health issues, as well as it's a natural diuretic, and it helps to alkalize your system, okay? It's a great health tool, all right? Okay, that said, hi everybody, I see you guys starting to come on here. Thank you for coming. Please do share our stuff. If you can donate, please do. Fantastic. Oh, and also all of the replays from our show here, we have like, I believe this is our 8th one, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 7th or 8th. But all of the replays are on my YouTube live talk, what is it, not live talk forum, YouTube Practical Spirituality Live with Lynn Rene MacDonald. I have to think about all these things we got going on, and energy's crazy. So, especially in these times. So I'm just going to ask the universe to clear the energy, have a clear bead, clear all energy that is standing between us, and have the clearest contact, best way to be from love in the purest form. The best evening for all of us, and thanks God for that for us, all right? That said, any questions coming up yet, Rachel?
Not yet, but we do have people saying hello.
Okay, hi everybody. If you could mind telling me who's here.
Teresa, and I believe the other woman's name is Lena.
Okay, hi Teresa. Oh my God, girl, I saw a picture of you on Facebook. I think you're at the beach. Holy shit, I don't know exactly how old you are, but I was like, oh my God, this girl looks fantastic. So I was like, oh, I just wanted to compliment you on that. I tried to make I was going to make a comment. I might have pressed that I liked it, but I think you were at the beach with your kids and I saw it and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, you look fantastic. And I just wanted to share that with you because it's always nice to hear good stuff in this crazy world. So I wanted to let you know about that, girl. So, and thanks for coming. And who else said hi?
Her name is Tina.
Okay. Hi, Tina. Tina, any no last name or anything?
I don't know her last name, though.
All right. So again, you can catch the replays on my Practical Spirituality Live with Lynn Rene MacDonald on YouTube. If you subscribe, it helps us keep it going, or you can make a donation there as well. Hi, Maddie. Maddie's here with us today too, and Sophia just showed up. Hi, Soph. They got new sunglasses. They look like Hollywood movie stars in them. It's great. It's great. All right. So all this said, any questions yet?
No, but Joanne is also saying hello.
Okay. Hi, Joanne. Is that I think Joanne P. Is it?
Pantaleo?
Yep. Yeah. I knew who it was, but I'm like trying to get your name, trying to remember your name. Some of these names that are a little harder to remember. Okay, so how about you guys in the audience? You guys have any questions that are in our live audience? And remember too, guys, that you can come here and enjoy this live because it's multi-dimensional. It's live, it's through call-ins, it's through video call-ins, as well as here on Facebook, which is really, really cool stuff. All right, so it's kind of exciting when I get in that space within my soul with universe or God, right? When I first got the idea of doing this channeled idea of doing these, I could feel the energy being multidimensional, and this is how they showed me and told me that this is how this was going to be, which is really cool, isn't it? Yeah. So I just thought I would share that with you for now. And anybody out here have any questions? Steve, go ahead.
I have a question about a street name. You talked about Lynnhaven, this being a good place for you. I know someone that lives on a street called Rose Ash, and for some reason that sticks in my mind as possibly not a good name. I was just wondering what your interpretation is for living on a street called Rose Ash.
Okay, so like living on the street or driving by the street sign?
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve is in our audience tonight, and he is asking us...
and the same thing, we're seeing your MacDonald name in Neptune.
Yeah.
If there's any indication on
That's really funny, isn't it?
things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so Steve is asking me some questions about some signs that he's seen and that he sent me. I don't know, did I send you a picture of that, Rachel, with the street sign that said MacDonald and Neptune? I did send you a pic?
I know, I have it somewhere.
Okay, I was going to say, if you can pull it up, great, because I would like to show them. But if not, everybody, it's somewhere on my Facebook page. And thank you again all for coming. It says, there's 2 street signs that we're talking about here. So Steve is asking what the messages are in the street signs, correct? And one of the street signs, you know how they go across and then they kind of like angle back. If I did a little drawing of it, I'm just going to kind of sage here a little bit, get the energy clear. So on the top of street pole, one sign said MacDonald Street, was it? Or MacDonald Road, right? And the other one said Neptune. And that's so funny because that was like the day after we did our last live. And I was just telling everybody how my 3rd house is in Pisces. And that's your communication. That's your thinking, right? That's Mercury, but it's Pisces. And Pisces is higher knowing. So that totally tells you, it's validation that what I said is truth, right? So my thinking being MacDonald, the name MacDonald means master from old world times, right? Like the name Mason, the last name Mason, one of the meanings of it, just like MacDonald means master, right? Mason means not entrepreneur, apprentice. So, and what's wild is I had a twin flame thing that went on where one person was, where my last name is MacDonald and it's the master, and the apprentice name was Mason, which is really, really wild because that tells me that I'm over here spiritually and this guy who's the twin flame is over here. And if anybody knows about twin flame relationships, there's usually one partner who is more advanced. But, Rachel found the picture for us. So here you go. I'm going to kind of... Is there any way we can enlarge it bigger than that, or that's pretty much it?
It bigger.
Rachel's best at iPhone and technology. It's a millennial thing. It's not a Lynn thing, but I can change that. Thanks God for that for me. All right, so here it is. See how it says Neptune, MacDonald? I hope you can all see that. That's the street sign that we're all talking about, right? And that was on Rachel's. Steve sent it to me because he saw it, and that was the day after last week's live, I think it was. And I had just talked about how in my astrology, my 3rd house is in Neptune, so I think my thinking is feeling is God and higher knowing automatically, which is why, or I wouldn't even fit in this earth world, right? When I tried to be in all the smart kids group, they were like, fuck you, right? Because I don't think like they do. My thinking, right, and my communication is wisdom. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's more other placements that go along with this, but I also have Saturn in my 3rd house, and that also is about balancing earth world metaphysical or law of universe, right? Which is earth world, and law of universe that is all that is God, which would be like Neptune, right? So there you have the Pisces or the Neptune energy and the balance of both of them in my communication to teach these things, to communicate these things as my soul journey, right? So anyway, so the reason we're talking about this is because of Steve's question again. And Steve asked about that. That's validation for me as well as for you, right? To know the truth about me, right? And also, there are other things in there as well, right? With that, it's validation to you basically having the right people in your life, right? And spiritually, Neptune and me, my last name being MacDonald, right? So they come together, right? So, and they're standing strong. So this is, a pole is really strong. It's metal, right? So this is all messages, not just for me, but for you as well. Do you see? It's really cool shit. I mean, God is infinite, and everything, like the fancy word, like the starseeds like to use is, oh, it's encoded, right? And I get that, right? But the bottom line is, I call it messages. It's whatever language that you use. My job here is to teach you practically, in practical terms, spirituality, how to live your greatest life, working with love in this new earth world in everything that you do. So this makes total sense to me, why I would say, oh, these are messages from God. But everybody, when they say encoded, everything is encoded, right? That means there's messages in everything, right? And so we just speak different languages, but we're speaking the same thing. And this is part of the problem with the communication today. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and this is just gifts and tools from the universe that I'm sharing with you about all of this, because I'm being guided by higher knowing to share this. And that's why we do the show, right? So that said, Steve also saw, is it one street sign or two separate?
It's one word, rose ash.
Okay, so the whole street sign was rose ash.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask universe exactly what that means. Well, it's interesting because rose, when I think of rose, again, a street sign, solid. So a street sign is standing by itself. It's standing alone. If something can stand alone, it has a backbone, right? It has its stability, right? So that said, the message in itself is a powerful message, okay? It being on a street sign, and it's a literal sign, right? Just like the other stuff too, okay? So the rose part of it, okay, comes from roses, self-love, okay, and then the ash is like ashes to ashes, dust to dust, okay? So it's really interesting when you say, oh, what does that mean for me? So I'm going to put that over here, right? So think about those things. Rose is about self-love. That's why we use rose oil. That's why people give roses. They think that giving roses is just about getting a rose because my lover gives me a rose because they love me, but it's way beyond that. Roses are truly about self-love, buying lovely flowers for you or your friend, whether they're pink or red. Red is about passion. That's why most men and women or partnerships, right, would bring roses, because it's about passion. I'm passionate about the way I feel for you, right? The red rose, right? Where if I might buy or get roses for, let's say, Rachel, and it's Rachel's birthday, I might choose to get pink ones, a dozen pink roses, because I love Rachel. Rachel is my friend, and it's self-love for Rachel that I want to give her in roses, whether I realize this consciously or subconsciously, okay? So when we say ashes and rose, so roses are about self-love, as well as multiple different layers of things within that space, like giving Rachel roses, giving a rose to your lover, right, or your partner, okay? And also ashes, what is it the saying? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Isn't that it? I think that's it, right? That's an old world saying from the beginning of time. So with the ashes to ashes, that's about death, ending, new changes, new beginnings, okay? So truth of this journey in every single lifetime on a metaphysical, if you looked at the grand scheme of things, right, and you thought Neptune, MacDonald, right, that's one street sign that you saw, and then you start to think of it as, roses being self-love and ashes. Every single journey in your life is about loving you in the healthiest, best way. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Rose, self-love, then the end. Self-love, then the end. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, this is one way to look at it on a broader spectrum. This is one of the big messages that comes in, and it's in alignment with seeing Neptune and MacDonald as, me being your guide or your teacher, or all right, spiritually, right? That would be the MacDonald and the master thing, but also the Neptune thing validates that high-end spirituality, okay? So when we look at these things and you're getting these messages, both of these messages are both high-end spirituality, but they're also personal to you. Do you know why they're personal to you?
Oh, I saw this sign right by Harold, who is another big helper in my life. I have no mechanical skills, Harold is like almost a surrogate dad, helper, bromance, whatever you want to call it, all rolled into one.
Yeah.
So I'm right by his house. He's helping me out with a mechanical issue, and that's when I see your sign. So there's another indication of that.
So your friend Harold was with you.
It was right by his house.
Yeah. And that makes sense too, because Harold is a friend of Steve's, and self-love is for all of us.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Also, you were going to Harold's house?
And Harold's a big helper in my life. What I'm saying is you've been a big guide and helper. You pulled my ass out of the fire, so to speak, on more than one occasion, and Harold's done the same thing. What you've done
Many times in a different way.
Emotional way, he's done for me in
Right.
the
Okay.
in the 3D world.
Right. Good. See, but see all the connections that you're making? You're doing all this work on your own, man. And that's what we all do, and we all have different perspectives. Like you said that, and I understood it in a different way. So then they bought this way that I just said a few minutes ago through me. But then you said, hey, wait, this is what I was saying, right? So with that, you get all multiple messages. Yours isn't right and mine isn't wrong. It's all different vibrations of God, and there's 100 million infinite messages in everything. Do you know what I mean? So that totally makes sense to me across the board. And really, you didn't even need me to answer that.
No, I didn't have that realization until you said what you said.
Okay.
Well, actually, I saw it as MacDonald and Neptune, that you're associated with astrology, or maybe you're even way out there, or all those things. I didn't read all the other messages, but as soon as you told them, I felt truth. And then I also realized the fact that it was right next to somebody else who helps me out reaffirms your message.
Yeah. And both the messages, you know what I mean? Like back to back. That's really cool, you know? So there's a lot going on. You don't think so? You're
Well, I
like,
do.
yeah, okay.
For sure.
All right, just making sure. Oh no, I'm burning down the house again. Shit. Oh. Well, that one's a burning ember I just can't pick up right now. It's having a moment. All right, so I'm going to do some more sage. I feel like in these times with the energy going on, there isn't enough sage around. Okay, so anybody else out here have another question in our audience? Do you have some questions, Ray?
I do.
Okay, yeah. Whenever you guys are ready, let's go.
Tina Marie's the first question.
Wow. We're
We on fire.
tonight.
I told you I was burning down the house. I created it. All right, so go ahead.
Tina Marie's first question. She's asking, she's looking for a new job, preferably in a different state, and also looking to move on from her current live-in situation. What can she do or ask the universe to help her move forward?
All right. Does she have any idea what? I know she can't answer it right now unless she calls in. Okay. All right. Thanks God for letting me know what state is best for Tina Marie. What state for her to start? She's looking for a new job, a new life. Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. God's honest truth. Best avenues, gifts, tools with this for her. What's wild is, do you have family in New York? Because there's something about New York State coming in. And, you know, my mother in the olden days would be like, oh, don't go to New York State. The taxes are too fucking high there, right? From old world times, right? Or the way things used to be. However, I almost dread on telling you to go up there because it's so backwards. But for some reason, there's a calling for you to New York State. So you must know why that is in your soul, but they keep saying New York, New York, New York. So there is something up in New York State for you. The other thing that's coming in is, and it's funny because, yeah, I could sit here and I could tell you, oh, you should do this and you should do that. And the information may, in fact, come in along with this, but there's something about this for all of us. And this is for the new world in our hearts. It's figuring out with universe, right? Figuring out with universe what our best destiny is, what our dreams are, what is the best job for us, okay? So this is all related to that. So they're telling me, you know, get your notepad out, write it down. They're telling me the hospitality business, but the new world is entrepreneurship. So you apparently like to be around people, and if you're not if you're not aware of that, the opportunity is coming for you to step into these gifts and open the doorway to this, because there's something about you being in the hospitality business, okay? So, and helping people and having your own business because you're really gifted socially. I do feel there's there's a part of you that's like, oh my God, you know, that's not for me, but it's definitely in there, meaning in your soul, and all these new doorways that we didn't think were in us, right? All this new stuff is going to be channeled and downloaded and opened up with our gifts and our new directions in this life now, and for the new world are going to be super solidified. So, and those doors are going to open up so that we all understand better and more about it. I almost want to say it's in the hospitality business, meaning like it could be anything from a waitress or having your own business and being a hostess or managing a restaurant or something in those lines, or even a bed and breakfast. I really like the bed and breakfast for you. It feels really good, but it's about stepping into something. This is what they're telling me, that used to be your dreams, or is a part of your dream that you kind of stomped down and said, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Anybody here do that? Where you're like, something comes in and you're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I could have a bed and breakfast? And then you're like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then before you know it, we're like stomping on our dreams, right? So let's clear and change all that for us, God, and put the best way to be from love in place of this for all of us. All right. And so you're getting the green light on this if you want to go ahead and do this. And even if you don't understand it, ask God that you do, or ask love that you do. Ask your angels, ask your guides, right? Ask universe, all that is love. Thanks, love, for me knowing what to do. Thanks, love, for the best solutions here. Thanks, love, for the best bed and breakfast if I so feel it in my heart. The best everything, the best people, the best place, the best everything I need, because I do feel this is really powerful for you. And it's awesome. I'm excited. I feel like it would be like getting back to nature and healing, and you'll set up all these new different programs. And universe is going to hook you up with all the people, and believe it or not, all the funds and everything you need, because I can almost feel your energy being like, oh no, not around the money for that. And that's how we all get sometimes, you know, with our money spaces in Earth world, right? But that's why Uranus is in Taurus. It's here to revamp the way you think about money, the way you feel about money, and the way you work with money, abundance, everything abundance, everything beautiful, everything having to do with work and how you make it, and money and how you see it, and how you see energy as well, because this is all just energy, really. Okay? All right. So that should help you get in on the path. And clear your blocks to it. Thanks God for that for us. That stop that from happening, right? Your dreams, if this is the dream that you want. Thanks God for that for us. And then, of course, let's ask universe that you're free of being attached to this, and that no matter what happens, you're happy, truly, truly happy. Okay, so thank you, God, for that for us. Go ahead. Any more?
Yes. Teresa wrote in. She wrote that she's concerned about her 9-year-old granddaughter's mental health. She's a Taurus, very moody, and has over the years said and acted in sketchy ways, very unlike herself.
All right. Teresa, I know we talk occasionally, and we have plans to talk in the future as soon as we can balance our schedules, right?
It's also Teresa's birthday today.
Oh my God, happy birthday, Teresa.
Happy birthday.
Rachel's like, it's Teresa's birthday. All right, everybody wish Teresa a happy birthday, please, if you can. If you're feeling it in your heart, right? We don't want to force anybody to do anything. That's not what love does. If you feel it, then by all means do it, right? Okay, so I hope you have a great day, girl, a great day. Let's see now. So we were talking about balancing out our schedules, but what comes in for your 9-year-old is it is complex. She's a really, really ancient soul from a really long time. Like when I say a long time ago, far, far away, it's what her energy feels like. It's kind of neat. It's almost like storybook and fable. And that's what her energy comes in with, her energy. Huh. And I do feel like there's bouts of delusional stuff in here, but that's not uncommon, you know. Just being a Pisces, I was talking to my sister the other day, like just being a Pisces, so many times when Pisces is in the zone, right? And this even happens to me too, and all of us, if we have not just Pisces, but Cancer placements, really profound, lots of spiritual placements. So we are always in and out of multi-dimension. So when I say like she kind of goes into a different space, or she's like not here all the time, this is part of her gifts, right? But because she's an old world soul, there is work to be done for her and for all of us in these spaces. Like Jennifer, my sister Jennifer, I'll be like, oh, I told you that you were supposed to go here, I'll say to her, or she'll ask me the same question, like for the third time in a row. And I'm like, or over a day period or whatever. And then I'll be like, oh, you already asked me that question. And she doesn't realize that she didn't ask me this question. Sometimes she's in another dimension and she thinks that she asked me that question, So that's not just with Jennifer, that's with other people as well. This can happen. And it can happen to me too. Some of the things that I do, because I'm so multidimensional all the time. And the reason I'm talking about this is because your daughter and you, or your granddaughter, right? She also has these gifts, all right? But you're seeing them and recognizing them. And in Earth World, we believe that these are bad things. But all she needs really is a person to guide her. Isn't that why you're her grandma? Yeah, because you're going to help her with all this into the future. It's really kind of cool. And that's what happens. We all have spiritual families, whether we realize it or not. Some of us are more connected than others. And you'll know in your heart. Just ask God, ask love. Yes.
She said that she has a crazy, fascinating imagination, but I've heard her during episodes use very foul language.
Yeah, because I don't use foul language, All right. Yeah, and that's not uncommon. People think that spiritual people don't curse and they don't say anything nasty and they're not toxic, right? But that's their interpretation of other people in the space of God that they're in. I have people tell me all the time that you would never tell somebody something bad if you're spiritual, right? And the same thing with the cursing. But that's not truth of God. The truth of God is your people first, and many times you will use these words to explain things, okay? And really, a lot of times, it's a sign of higher knowing and being spiritual and wisdom, believe it or not. As crazy as that is and sounds, right? It's not the way we think in Earth World. It is our beliefs that make curse words bad words, right? Or toxic words. But really, anything that's toxic is the energy and the intent that we put behind it, right? If we think about, stuff like this and we think, well, if your neighbor shoots a guy because the guy is breaking into the house and he shoots him and he kills him, but he feels terrible about it, and he didn't want to kill him, but he had to because the guy was trying to break in his house and kill his family, right? And that's what he thought and felt, right? Well, that of course is like a healthier, clearly a healthier intent than, let's say, somebody who let's say the neighbor decides that he's going to go out and kill somebody, or deliberately kills the guy, or deliberately goes out and shoots the neighbor and then says the neighbor broke into his house. These are two different intents, right? One is about saving your family from a place of love, self-love for you and your family, saving yourself, right, and your family. And the other one is about doing malicious and having a toxic intent, right? But there's all different variations of all this kind of stuff, right, from love. This is why we even have this show now, and we're guided to do this show, so we can help people get the God's honest truth of all the answers about what's going on. It makes sense, right? Because otherwise we get your granddaughter will be labeled as having mental illness, having bipolar, having, issues, all different issues. They're going to put her on all kinds of medications, which I advise not to, if you can help it. But I don't know if you make those choices or who makes those choices, but share with your daughter, all right? Higher knowing, say, sit down and talk to her from love. Ask love to speak through you. Ask love for the best solutions. This little girl is super gifted, and it goes back. I mean, she has ancient lifetimes as a witch, as do you, as do I, right? But it's what you do with this energy and how well it is or convoluted it is and healthy or not that it is in what you're doing and what your intent is and how she's going about using this energy or working with this energy. Because really, her soul at the age that she's in is a 9, and it's like pre-puberty. Isn't that right? Her age, right? So she's at pre-puberty kind of age. And in this age is when they start to really, in their souls, their crap or their toxic starts to come out of them. Like when a new baby is new, you're like, everybody's like, oh my God, that baby is so beautiful. I love that baby. baby, right? Because it's creation in its purest form. Everybody loves puppies, baby animals, babies, you know. Why do you love them? Because it's God, and that energy comes in with it, and it's fascinating, it's fucking incredible, and it's amazing. But as the soul's journey, both in the physical human body, comes in here in Earth world, what's a riot about it is that energy changes. Just like we grow from you know, baby to, you know, toddler, right? To what is it? Not preteen, is it? Is it preteen? I think maybe that's what it would call, preteen to teen, right? And then to young adult, right? So the soul grows and has its own pathway within that, which is the general rule of Earth, both Earth world, which is Saturn, and the general rule of Neptune or Pisces. Do you see what I'm saying? Saturn, Capricorn, and Pisces, right? So this is about balancing those energies, and this is about the dimension of Earth world dimension. So this said, your granddaughter, in the space she's in, her stuff is starting to come out. So she's exploring these things. She doesn't really know what's going on totally. You know, her soul knows. Her highest heart soul is pulling out this stuff, or her subconscious soul is pulling out this stuff, exploring with it, learning about it. And it can come in at a very, very young age, right? Older the soul would come right in with it, right? Just like sicknesses, unwellnesses, you know, it all pertains to everything that's going on in your soul, what your journey is, what you've asked God for. And just like it's no accident that you're her grandmother, you're super gifted, you're high in consciousness, you're a master yourself, whether you want to step into that or however way you want to do that. But I feel that you will be developing your gifts and skills even more so. And there's like an alliance, a soul pact with her as you grow, as you teach her about these things. So, but there is some stuff, it feels like, with your daughter that has to be balanced out. So the best way to do it is pray on it. Ask universe for what you want. Ask love for everything you need. Ask love for the best solutions for this. Every time you speak to her, ask love to speak through you, whether it's your granddaughter or your daughter, and ask love for the best way to talk to her, to work this out, and for the best outcome for all from love. And thank you, God, for that for us. So we already started that to happen. Okay.
Ready?
So I think I answered it all. Did I get it all?
I think so.
All right. Go ahead. Who you got next?
Well, first, Debbie and Laura are also saying hi, and it's Laura's birthday today, too.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Laura,
birthday.
too. Yay. Happy birthday, Laura. Laura and Teresa. Yay. All right. Hope you're having a great day, too, Laura. Okay. So they say hi. So that was Laura and who? Debbie.
Debbie.
Hi, Deb.
And Debbie says she loves and misses you.
Oh, thank you. I love and miss you too, Deb. All right. So go ahead. Do they have any questions or?
They do, but I got another question up first.
Okay, go ahead.
Joanne P. is asking, what gifts do I bring to the world? I love to help others.
There you go, right there. Automatically, as soon as you say, I love to help others, there's your answer. Again, inside of you is being a master healer from lifetimes at whatever level you want to take it. Just like when I say MacDonald is master, yeah, that doesn't mean that you're not all masters. You are. You can bring anything and everything to the level of God that you want it to be, but it's not just going to be handed to you. You have to do the work, just like me, right? I have to do the work, not just from lifetimes. You wouldn't be even doing this or asking this or coming to the show if you didn't already have it in your heart already. So this is about you opening up these new gifts, working with people in however many different ways that you choose to. The best thing for you to do is sit down and take a look at what you love. Again, and this is for everybody. It seems like sometimes I'm saying the same shit over and over, like, oh my God, how many times can I say this, God? But really, this is all the grand plan and the design for the new world, is doing what you love to do, being an entrepreneur, humanitarian work, right? So the things that we learned and we're doing are now going to morph to even more different things, and yet the same. It's kind of like, to give you an example, let's say you have an old piece of artwork that was flat and then you glue all these things to it and you decide to rework it. That's exactly what we're doing with our lives right now. Same thing like if you took a candle and it's just a candle and then you heated it up and you molded it into different things and then added food coloring or coloring to it, right? And essential oils. Well, now you're creating something different with that candle. And so this is where you want to look at with your healing, what you love to do. I do feel, let me just see what else comes in for you. I don't know if you do anything right now that's like helping with donations like a Red Cross, or not saying that you would be doing it with Red Cross, but you may, but oh, got my ring stuck in my hair. So, but doing it, you can do it with local organizations and bigger organizations. Just make sure that you check it out and feel in your heart what you're doing, because I feel like into the future, and many of us, many of us, with the times that are coming, are going to be doing a lot of, helping people with food and clothing and places to stay and things like that. There's a propensity for this. But I feel like for now, one of the avenues is to go to like a soup kitchen or a food place, or do volunteer work, because not only is there learning for you there for your new mission, along with all the other tools that you have already learned and done that you bring to the table, right? You have this new journey of this, and you can say, well, I've already done that, which may be true as well, I feel. But there's more of that to do for you, because this isn't just about that. It's about new learning with different people, different ways, different places. But it is also about, let me see the best words for this, about you meeting the right people to set you on different pathways, because this is going to open up yet even more doors for you to your destiny. And it feels like it'll really solidify and come around like November, December. I feel like you'll do something around the holidays, a couple events around the holidays, either in the closest local city, or as well as in the town, or maybe with a church or churches. But feel in your heart who's authentic. Ask universe, ask love, who's the best place to go, because you want to be in alignment with people who are your people from love, not people who are toxic, All right, so there you go. So look into these avenues. These new doorways will open up. They're going to bring you several different directions, not just this that we spoke of today, and it's for multiple reasons, so that you can find more pieces of your new destiny in the doorways that are going to open up for you, okay?
Ready?
Yep.
Debbie wrote in. She wrote, "Hi, Lynn. You know my situation. Any thoughts from God and the universe?"
Is that our Debbie who works with us every day? Or not every day, but almost every time we do classes here, she does. All right. Hi, Deb. One more time, Rachel. Repeat that. I had to just put the space.
No, she wrote, "You know my situation. Any thoughts from God and the universe?"
This is about time. They keep telling me time. So I'm going to ask them about this. All right, God. So Debbie's asking about her situation. So she wants to keep it private. So I'm just going to ask universe about this for the best. Okay, so time, what they're telling me for the best answers here. What they're telling me is it's about God's time. They're telling me for you, Debbie, sit back. Let's ask God that you're free of all the energy that does not serve you with everything that's going on, and that you're free of being tormented and free of unwellnesses with it, and thank you, God, for that, for all of us, with anything and everything in our lives, and free of letting this make us crazy and unwell in any way, shape, or form, whatever all of this is, and what is all intertwined in all this energy that is all this. Clear, heal, and change it for Debbie and all of us in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is, and in place of this, but the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is, and thank you, God, for that for us. That said, Deb, what they're telling me is to tell you God's time. So what they want you to do is just do Debbie, and when you let go of it, everything changes. Everything changes. So they're saying time. Take time for you. Enjoy what you do. Ask universe, ask God, ask love for the best solutions, the best way to do it. Because I feel like you should be doing things that you love, like, sewing and shopping, like for craft stuff, and not just all the wonderful, caregiving that you already do. This is about being you and taking the time out for you. Because I do feel like what comes in is the quicker you do this, where you're authentic in that space, and you're not looking over here and saying, oh my God, when is this going to change? Or I don't know if I can do this anymore, or I just need some relief from this. The more you are able to release all of that from you, the more you can move forward with all this, and you're going to be doing your own thing, and then it's gone in an instant. So, and it happens so fast. So this is the guidance they're telling me. We did the energy work for this to create this to happen, right? Manifest, words and thoughts create. The same shit I do here, the same stuff, meaning you guys can do as well. You know, this is what we teach, right? So if you're having whatever the problems you guys are having, this is how you change it. This is how you create your best lives, right? Your best life, your best dreams and everything. You ask God or ask love for it. So simple, right? Okay, so that said, was there any more to that question, Ray?
No, she was just asking any thoughts from God and the universe.
Yeah. And that's really a truth. So many times we hold on to things that are toxic for us and we don't let go of it, or we keep holding on, just like to exes. You're like, there's a part of you that just can't let go of your ex, and you're just like, oh my God. And I know what that's like, right? It's like we torment ourselves, and then we wonder why we don't have a new relationship, because our energy is still wrapped up all in this. Until we release that energy, we can't be free. You know what I mean? And really, that's the truth. So people say, so one of the things in Earth World to do is, let's say if you're with an ex, you want to get a divorce, right? As soon as you can, or separate and start the Earth World process, because the metaphysical process goes hand in hand with the divorce, right? You have to do things in Earth World to make these things happen, but you also must listen to your heart, and you have to release wanting what you want to happen and our illusions of what we think we want to happen in our hearts, you know, because so many times what we think is going on and what we think we know is not really truth of God. And the best way to get the God's honest truth of all that is to what? Ask for it. Ask love for the answers. Ask love for the truth, right? So, and even with this show, is what Lynn's saying, the God's honest truth. I tell people all the time, you don't believe what I say, that's okay. Why don't you ask source or love yourself? You will feel what the truth is in your heart, right? So there you go. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Robert Gonder said hello, and he's asking if you can channel Kim.
Hi, Bob. So you brought it to the table, huh? All right. Okay, so Bob and me have a mutual friend that many of you who might be on here already probably know, and she passed away on Saturday I think it was last Saturday, I think.
I think so.
So anyways, and her first name is Kim, and I'm going to keep it at that for respect and honoring her. And I'm going to ask God to please bring in Kim now, please, from love, and give us the best gifts, tools of energy, magic, anything and everything that we need from love to help and assist her and everybody with her leaving this world. And what comes in is especially for her husband, Dan, because as most people know, this was a love affair. These are two high-end spiritual people who are on the path, have their own business, but their business was intertwined with their love for one another, which is really fascinating. It's a twin flame, soulmate kind of relationship. So this said, let me just see what comes in. So Bob is asking me to bring Kim in and ask him questions, and that's how we do everything here, guided by my gifts. Ask and you shall receive, right? So, okay, the first thing that comes in is she's thanking me, and she's saying, thank you, Lynn, because several days ago when she first crossed over, she came to me, but she was really the best way is to say it is angry about some stuff going on. You know, a lot of times when we cross over and we go into different dimensions and we're in that process, we have feelings like when we don't want to leave, or we have toxic shit or things that we wanted to do or wanted to work out. So then we're angry. So what came in is, you know, and this is also why I said to you, Bob, that there's lots of things going on here, both metaphysically and Earth World with Kim right now. When you had asked me the other day in a personal message, I think, if I could channel her, and the answer is absolutely. But we always want to do these things at the right time or the best time for all. Like I could feel Kim pushing on my energy the whole time for days for many different reasons, both based on my relationship with her, but also on her wanting to get to everybody she knows, and especially the closest people that she loves, right? So that's why I said what I said, because knows you don't want to be bringing somebody who's in here angry and really pissed off. She feels as though she has settled down, right? And it isn't really necessarily a pissed off at anybody else. It has to do with her own stuff, okay? But without getting into her personal stuff, because that's not what's important here for this public thing. Like, I could always call Dan or talk to Dan, and if Dan would like me to talk with him about it and have Kim talk through me for personal stuff, or like really personal stuff, meaning getting to the bottom of all this stuff that she has to say, that's her personal stuff about what's going on over here with her, okay? Please have him tell him just to give me a holler, and I will gladly help him, because I really do love him. And so that said, she would like to speak to him, of course, and so, but a lot of times, like I said, you have to pick and choose with universe when and how, and all the boundaries and things and like this that we're talking about have to be honored. All because this is medium work, all because I can, doesn't mean I should, or that I always should, right? And also, I can't, if somebody's angry and pissed off or wilding or whatever their personal stuff is, right? It's not necessarily healthy for me to go into those spaces, nor is it healthy for me to share that with people when we're doing medium work. I have to say to myself, is this what's best for the people I share this stuff with, all right? So doing medium work isn't just about pulling people in and talking to them. It is about, how healthy is this for the people who want to know, as well as the people involved here, or the energies, right? The souls involved here, such as Kim and Dan, right? So there's a bunch of things that come in here. First of all, she's telling me things about the property. She's validating, I think we saw a lot of people have seen this too, stuff on the property, on their farm, their Fairy Fresh farm, I think it is, right? Yeah, stuff like that on the property, and she's validating that for Dan, that everything that he is seeing and the messages that he's getting are right on, all right? And she's also telling me that in Earthworld, now this is another thing that people do, yes, they do miss us, but the energy is different, and Kim is transforming, right? So usually it takes 4 days for the soul to cross over with dimension to multi-dimensional, completely out of Earthworld, right? Excuse me. In other dimensions, it's different, and it's a complex process, and it depends again on the soul, and a lot of it is how ready they are for this stuff, or for this transition, right? And really, honestly, this was definitely a surprise to Kim's soul. Like, Kim on a conscious level wasn't going anywhere, had big dreams and big things going on, but her subconscious soul was like, yeah, we're out, right? And this is the energy that's coming in with her, but she has some stuff to work out with that within herself, some anger and lots of things like that are super personal to her. So the things that I'm sharing with you right now are tailored, because this is what's best for all from love, right? But Dan and you can also talk to me about this on a separate note personally as well. But to share with you, she wants Dan to know all the stuff that he has showed her on the property and things around. He's around her all the time, and she still comes and sleeps with him in the bed at night, and it's really quite lovely. Okay, and she's thanking me again, because she's really grateful. I feel she's going to thank you too, Bob, again as well, because you were really the catalyst that set this into motion for her. And this is about karma. This is part of your karmic agreements with her, coming in and Earthworld, karmic agreements again of helping each other, right? And coming from love. So she wants Dan to know that she's saying baby, and she misses him so much, okay? But the word she's using, I miss you so much, baby. And it's important for him to know that, loves him so much. Hold on a second, I'm seeing what else she wants to share. Yeah. Because there's two sides of Kim. Kim is Gemini. She's got a lot of Gemini in her. So there's stuff that we know her as, and there's stuff she's very private. Gemini has a whole other side to them that is super, super private. So I have to pick and choose with this energy what is going to come in or not, okay? So, guided by higher power as well as her soul. Because she's standing here and she's stepping forward because she wants to share a bunch of stuff, and then she steps back because she has this need to be private, just FYI, so everybody can understand here. She's also very excited about you, Bob, and doing your musical gifts in different places. She says she's going to be there. She's going to be there for look. So look for signs that she is going to be there. There's something about a candle or candles blowing out with you and her that she's letting you know. She will also send you signs in the energy and the experiences you have when you're at these places. You're going to feel her energy. You may even see her as translucent in a physical form, right? Or see a shadow or think that you saw her when you do these events that are coming up for you. She absolutely loves your music, and it's super healing. And also, she and the angels and universe is telling me it's about some of the work that you do is super healing physically. And she's saying it heals the gut, like the stomach, right? Now we all think, oh, why would you say that, right? But if you think about it, that's super powerful, because everything that we, what is the word I'm looking for? Thanks God for the best words for this. It's your stomach is all the things that we can't stomach in Earth World, the things that we like turn a blind eye, can't deal with, our intestinal hurting, right? Our shit is in our stomach, right in our tummy, right? But universe says, that it's all the things that people can't stomach. So it's both on a subconscious and conscious level. It's massive high-end healing, these gifts that you have. And she wants me to tell you this, and she wants me to share this with you along with the angels as well. And she is also walking all around the hills and the cool fall breeze. She feels it in her hair, and she loves picking flowers and just being outside, and she loves the nature, and she's telling me all of these things, and she's still doing that, and it feels fantastic. But she's also saying, and this is really important, and I'm feeling like you and Dan will understand this, and especially Dan, she's a whole person now. She's a whole person now. So on some level, she was not able to be herself in her entirety, in all that she is from love. So, and again, we all come in and have work to do on our souls, and we all have different demons, different stuff that we have to deal with, and this is all part of that. What she misses most out of all this is she's telling me a couple things. Just quiet nights alone with Dan. She misses most, where they're just sitting there and their energies are together, both in their own personal bedroom, but also it's like where the doors are closed and everything is super secret, and where they're in their house and nobody else is there, and it's very private and it's very special. And it's kind of like what she likes about this dimension now is she's all over the place. She's with fairies, she's with angels, she's with sprites, and she's like walking around, and she has this incredible freedom that she loves, and she's healing as she's crossing over simultaneously at the same time. But she definitely wants Dan to know that her most powerful healing and most amazing loving moments are those times alone where she spent with him. And she wants me to thank him for everything that he's done for her, everything. And because he really, he really helped her and kind of lived for her. And she's acknowledging that, and she's saying thank you to him. And she's saying, it is time for him to live his own life, right? Where he can make his dreams happen in a different way, even though their dreams were so intertwined. So there's challenges within this, but for everybody, both separate and together, and lots of healing. She's telling me that the services are going to be incredible for her, and she loves people, and she wants everybody to come, and what she really wants is for them to have a great time. She doesn't want anybody to be sad. And there's something about little tiny blue or purple flowers that are like this big, that are almost like, I want to say like weeds, or those little mountain glory ones. They're like a periwinkle. There's something about those flowers that is really special to her, as well as roses. One of the things which is kind of unique that she's requesting is someone to bring a single red rose, and I feel like it will be Dan. If you want to share this with him, you can. There's no wrong, there's no right. It's what he feels and picks up in his heart that is best for him. My job is just to bring in the information from her for everybody. And she wants everybody to know that she's fine. She wasn't expecting this. It totally was a surprise. She, but her soul, her highest heart, subconscious soul, knew that this knows exactly what it's doing, and it calls the shots. And that's part of the challenges for all of us, and that's all part of the gifts and the nature of God or love, is that the soul is visionary and knows exactly what it's doing. And sometimes as people, we're like, yeah, we don't always agree with that, because there's one thing I'm sure of, and as she's standing by me, she never wants, there's a bond here with her and Dan is like never wanting to leave each other, and it's a very powerful bond. It really is. In so many ways, it's a beautiful love affair. It absolutely is, and the essence of that in Earth World is really, really cool, really cool. So something about a single red rose to be brought in for passion, and her connecting with her passion, and about healing for lifetimes to come. So this is about helping her in the healing, and it doesn't mean there has to be a lot of people for this. She would like everybody to come. She loves people, and she's actually kind of excited about it. She's like, I want to see who comes, and that's kind of cute, you know what I mean? It is, and we should celebrate ourselves, and it should be a celebration. It shouldn't be a thing of sadness. It's about celebrating life. So many times, we're going to cry, but so more often than not, we're crying for ourselves and the loss of those people. So those are the things that come in most. And there's something about a book that she was writing. So I don't know. I know Dan would probably know more best. It may be a few books, but there's definitely at least one book or information that will be created in a book. And I feel like Dan may pick up this torch and he may put it together and write it or put the pieces together as a tribute to Kim. So this is all some of it. Or he may have information that he knows that is her story to share with the world, which is part of his healing, as well as honoring her as well. Really beautiful stuff. So she's around the property all the time. She's telling me she's never going to leave that property, so get ready for her to do some ghosting.
Oh my
okay? But this is just the space she's in right now. And she can, as she heals, this too will change. This is just what her soul needs, but it's not a nasty ghosting. It's a love for the property. It's a love for Dan. It's a love for everything that was their business in their life, and it's a love of being there in that energy. And I keep seeing her on the hill on a beautiful, beautiful sunny day, and it's like cooler in the fall, and leaves. This is the image she's showing me, and leaves are blowing all around, and she's picking but it's wild because she's showing me springtime flowers. So it's really cool. It's like an old tree there, and she's really connecting to the energy, and she's really loving this freedom and loving the air, because she also has not fully crossed over completely, and this is all part of her process that she chooses and is individual to her. But as a general rule, there's a process that usually goes 3 to 4 days. 4 is the number of completion. 3 is the number of active gods. So I hope that this helps everyone to heal from this, and all the best wishes to Dan and everybody out there who is friends with Kim, and lots of love to everybody. Okay? So thank you. All right. So go ahead.
Rhonda Crane wrote in. She wrote, "Can you tell me how long it will take my husband to find a new job? He was shocked when told his contract is ending in the end of September. He is hoping some contacts can help him. Nothing yet, and we are very worried."
Yeah, let's do this. Is it Rhonda?
Rhonda.
Okay, let's do this, Rhonda. We're going to clear the energy for you that you and your husband, that's all this fear energy, and that's blocking him from having a job and seeing things in a different way and having his best job no matter what it is, from love in the purest form. Clear, heal, and change all this energy that is all of this, and in place of this, put the best way to be from love, and let you be happy no matter what happens, and free from attachments of having to do a job like that or that particular job, and it has to be a certain way, because as soon as we do this, that's going to open the doorways for you from love. And thank you for these gifts for is it Rhonda? Rhonda, and her husband's name is?
She didn't write it in.
Okay, all right, but that's okay. And Rhonda and her husband. Thank you for these gifts now, please, for them from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us and them and all, if they so desire it, in the best way for us and all, or something better. Now, this said, where are we going with this? New doorways are going to be coming in. This job, believe it or not, there's something about this job that your husband used to have being done and complete into the future. And this is about your husband stepping into living a great life for him. I do feel like there will be some kind of severance pay and or a pension. If you have not looked into that, please do. All right, because these are some avenues for you to check out to help you financially. Also, sit down and ask him, what he loves to do, right? And ask universe, ask God, ask love, right? For the best job for you, the best gifts and tools, the best people, the best amount of money to make, that he loves his job, and it's the best of everything from love. And let's clear our blocks that stop that from happening, and let's make this happen for you. And thank you, God, for that for us. Now, it does come in that he may decide as he goes through transformation with all this, right? It comes in. I have my jokers over here on the right.
I was trying to give it strength.
Oh, Jennifer's helping to empower all of my prayers, all of our prayers. So thanks God for that for us. So is Wendy. All right. So what does come in? Yeah, this is pretty cool. Kim's still saying thank you, which is really lovely. Thank you, Kim. Okay. Is that there is going to be new doorways, and your husband's going to, it behooves you and your husband. And I feel like this will come to him where he's going to look into his soul and his heart and think about the things that he loves to do, as well as put out the resumes, but start doing things that he loves to do, right? And think about how those connect with making a job and his own entrepreneurial business, because this is an avenue where there's a fork in the road for the two of you, and this is really actually a blessing, because I feel there's still going to be money coming in for him. I feel like there was some kind of a pension plan, or there may be some kind of thing, but definitely look into all of these things for him. But also, in the meantime, this is about a doorway for new avenues for him and you to explore different things together, either start your own business together or for him to start his own business. And right now, I know that in the space that you're in, it's challenging to see this, what they're saying, what the angels are saying to me, because you have angels all around you guys right now, especially to help with this difficult stuff that you're going through with all this. All right. But it's hard for us to fathom these things. We're in the moment and we're all emotional, right? It's hard for us to do that. But as time goes on and you start to do things together that you love to do, the answers are going to come in, the doorways are going to open, but keep putting out the resumes and let go of it, and then let universe guide you to the best jobs for you. And thank you, God, for that for us. And then he will have, I feel like, either 4 or 5 to choose from, right? But it's about being flexible and being able to do other things either within that thing or adding on to it, as well as starting, very possibly starting, if you feel it in your heart, and you might not feel it for several months, because this is something that you guys have to go through emotionally in Earth World and heal with, as well as work with what I call God's time as things will come in for you. So no worries, send out those resumes in his field, but new doors are going to open. And there's something, does he do any kind of woodworking? There's something about doing some kind of woodworking or art and a business with this for himself. And believe it or not, he'll make a lot of money doing this if he so chooses to do this, and because it's about love and it's about passion, meaning loving what you do. And this will also then bring in more time for you to enjoy each other in these times, that you have together, and opening up a new doorway in your personal relationship as well. So, and if you have more questions, please ask. And if you need more guidance, let's say if he sends out resumes and in the next month you don't get any reply, call me back. It just means there's more spiritual work to do on this, but I'm going to ask God that we cleared it out and cleared it up right now so that we don't have to, and that we covered everything. But if there is anything, they'll bring it to us and we'll just free ourselves from it and create exactly what we need to happen from love. We're in love, okay? It may not be in the way that you think, but it will be what is best. So trust the universe, because good things are coming for you in the world. When you're in your heart, it can't not happen. Okay? All right, go ahead.
He does woodwork.
See that? And he does woodwork, Rachel just said. Duh, right? You got this. You got this. And we'll all be cheering you on. Send me some pics. Right? Because our business, just like all these new businesses, entrepreneurship, you're going to help out your people, the people that you love, who you have established relationships in the new world, right? Or who you've established relationships with people you love and can trust, right? So there you go. Cool shit, right? Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Who else?
Laura needs a fiver.
Laura, you want a 5-minute reading for your birthday? All right, let me just sage here a minute. Let me ask God what's best for Laura right now. What about you, Wend? You got anything too? After I get to Laura, you got some stuff? All right, so I'm just saging the energy here. All right, thanks God for the best reading for Laura. Oh, Laura, biggest thing that comes in for you right now in capital letters, it's time for you to get the fuck out of Richmond. You know what they're talking about. All right, I know you don't really want to hear that, but it's time. Because people are not honoring you. Okay? And I think you know that. They're also telling me new jobs again, new doorways opening up for you. They're also telling me get back into your healing work more so. Start being more orchestrative with it. Let's sit down and, meaning whether you do it with me or you do it yourself or you do it with universe or God or love, however you need to do it, always with love and always with God and universe, really. However is best for you to do it, start pulling out some punches. How, like, what they're showing me is like a brainstorm, like a tornado brainstorm of ideas for the work that you do, because you do so much amazing energy work. Laura does bars, she does cranial sacral, she does a massage, she does Reiki, and she teaches it here at our shopping center. So really cool stuff. Laura's super fucking gifted, super gifted. So I feel like the new doorway is really for you to step into these things, as well as the avenues of caregiver and new businesses with this, and they're coming in for you really strong. It's time for you to let those old businesses that were draining on your energy, where the people don't honor you, and they're literally like yelling at me, well, she's all wigging out about the money, right? Because they're just saying to me, it's time for you to do that. That said, there is this over here that we just spoke of, but then there is another thing, and I think we've talked about this in the past, and this has to do with your kids too, which is wild, about starting a family restaurant, hot dog business, or a family business for you here. It will be super lucrative. People will love you. They already love you. And it's kind of like me, you know what I mean? We have the shopping center here, and I still do other jobs and business for other people, right? I have another job over here, right? And it's the same kind of thing for now, for in these times, as you balance, like with the COVID and all the shit that the government's doing and shutting down everything. So I do metaphysical work and I do this, but I also have an earth world job, and a lot of people don't know that, but we do these things guided by higher knowing. Why? So we can help ourselves keep having the money that we need in earth world, and as we're guided by higher power to keep these jobs, it's universe balancing everything out. Because, every time, the truth be told, every time Joe Biden makes some kind of new rules, or the CCP, quite honestly, or the darkness, right, makes these new rules, right, for society, and has all these mandates and all this shit go on, that's no good for anybody's business, including mine, right? Because people now get even more afraid, and they don't want to spend their money, and so these are very challenging times. So if universe blesses us with multiple jobs, and you feel it, then you follow your heart, you talk to universe, and you do whatever it takes from love, and you ask God that you love it, and you ask God, if you feel it. Also, this is about living your dream dreams and your greatest life for you, because there's a part of you that loves this, where you work. And the same thing with me, with my other place that I work, but I won't say it on here for privacy reasons, okay? Right? Where I work, most of you who come to my things and that you know about my other job, right? So, but I'm not going to say the name. But also, what people don't know is where I work, the gentleman who owns the place, right? There is a soul connection from lifetimes, right? From lifetimes, so we were married, and he was a king, and one time we went multidimensional when I was there, right? So, and it was so bizarre, but this explains to me why we have this strange relationship, and why I've been working there for like 6 or 7 years, right? And why I won't, on some level, have a pact with him, a soul pact, a soul agreement, that I'm not gonna bail on him and leave him in these difficult times. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's not just about money and helping me. It's about also helping him. It's about karma. It's about helping each other in these times and being there for the people that we love. But I feel like there's also this family business for you, and this is why I'm talking about this. And this also has connection to your father, and your father will be around it. And it's kind of like a legacy thing. So I don't know if you've been thinking about this, but I feel like you have on some subconscious level. It's a connection to your dad, because your dad was really the hot dog king, man. That's cool as shit. He built a fantastic business, man. Here, we talked about all this, right? So, but your dad is going to be there and be orchestrated with it, and he's going to love it, because I feel like your kids are going to work with her. I know this is insane, right? When I say this, right? I'm like, I can't even believe I'm telling her this, but it's the truth, though. So these things are coming for you, and it also helps you be an entrepreneur, which is the way of the new world, and you'll be super successful. Right. And this is just one of your businesses that you're going to have, along with your metaphysical businesses, I said plural, because I do see a caregiving business for you as well with this. So look into this. We've talked about this before, and we can talk about it more in depth, but this is your 5-minute reading. It was probably longer than that, but we're good. All right, so go ahead. Who's next? What? We're said?
Good online.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, how about you guys? And what time do we got?
It's 8:25.
Oh, okay, we might end early if you guys don't ask. Come on. Or I can talk about other things, any kind of metaphysical stuff that you have questions about for everybody as well. Wendy, I know you have some questions.
Okay, so I know I need to do some home repairs on this townhouse, but I have discovered recently that I have a rodent up in my attic.
Yeah.
And I had a guy come out and look, and he's like, oh yeah, it's definitely a rat. It doesn't seem to be a lot, but, he's making this trail back and forth, and, there's a couple pieces of wood in the back side of the house and the front side of the house that need to be repaired, and he's thinking it's the back side up top that the rat's coming in. But he's like, it's going to be a lot.
What's going to be a lot? The cost for the rat and that house repair? Is this your home?
Yeah, this is
Do you
my
own
townhouse.
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ideally, I was going to get the wood pieces repaired by someone else. And he's like, well, we can do this temporarily. This part of it will be about $400, and then the other part, and, they're like in total like over $700. And I'm like, let me get back with you on that.
Have you talked to your insurance company? I feel like you may be able to get them to cover this. And let's say a prayer that you could. Thank you, God, for that for us, right? Before we go saying, oh my God, I can't afford this, or, but I don't feel like it's going to be as much money as you think. I feel that you could find like a Harold, like we have a handyman who does work, who will be able to fix it in the meantime. But call your insurance and just find out about it if you feel it, right? Okay. And because and then we can put it out there to spirit if this is what's best, that this is how you do it, and they cover it. But also in this world, the unwell thing about this is that you think you have insurance and you pay into the insurance, and then they're like, fuck you, we're not covering it, because that's the toxic in this world. And this is what all the stuff that we're all kind of dealing with. We already know that, right? So
I'm just wondering, should I follow through? Like, I want to have somebody come out and repair the wood to begin with. I don't want to spend $400 to do a temporary fix when the wood has to be replaced to begin with. Mm-hmm. So I don't really want to do that. But I have to coordinate the guy to come out to fix the wood. The same, like as soon as he's finishing up, the guy said, we need to be out there to put the trap up there, because if you close off everything and it's up in there, it's going to destroy whatever trying
Absolutely,
to get
it's going to chew its way out. It chewed its
Right.
way in. It chews
Right.
its way out. And so Wendy's talking about a rat in her attic, right?
out. Yep.
Yeah, or in the roof of or the roof system of her house, and I know about this shit all too well, right? Because I've had several residences because I've in my craziness, right? In my crazy Sagittarian energy, I've moved to like 25 different houses in Virginia Beach since I've been here. For whatever the fucking reason, that's something I need to ask God about. However, that's what I did in my journey here. I got crazy Uranian energy from back in the day, and it makes sense, right? So, but going back to you, so I understand this rat thing, and it is a challenge, but I get there's multiple entrances. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. So whether you coordinate them or not, honestly, it really doesn't matter because he's going to get in there anyways and he's coming back. You know, where there's God and there's nature, there's a way. You know what I mean? Kind of reminds me of that Jurassic Park movie where what's the name of that guy? Jeff Goldblum says, he said, what did he say? What was that saying about?
Like nature finds a way.
Yeah, he says nature finds a way, and that's the truth. That's really what happens. Like when he was talking about how the dinosaurs multiply, even though it's just one sex, he's like nature finds a way. All right, and really that is truth of God. Just like when they try to do all these lockdowns and all this crazy taking away your freedoms, the truth of God is you just ask God for the way to change this. You ask God for the way around this. You ask God for what you need, and the solutions will come. So, and you just ask to clear your blocks that stop you from thinking, oh my God, my kids can't go to the school, or oh my God, we have to get the shot, or oh my God, we have to mask, or oh my God, we can't do this, right? Ask universe for the way around it from love, because love trumps everything and it's infinite. Just like if I go to California and everybody in this room and on this Facebook Live here goes to California, I can guarantee it that every single fucking one of us is going to drive a different route, right? Because that's the nature of God. There's a million ways to California, and there's a million ways around all the bullshit that's going on in the world. And how you get to that space is you ask love, you ask God for all the best solutions, the best ways to do things, and the best way to be free of what's going on. And then you listen and you ask to hear the messages. You ask to see, you ask to know, you ask them to guide you, and you ask that you do it. Because they tell you you have to have a shot for your work, let's say, doesn't mean that you do. You go to higher power because it's you that has all the power, not them. And this is why I'm doing this Facebook Live, because my job is to get all you guys into your heart space and give you your fucking power back, man. And I'm so excited about that. This makes me fucking wild, right? Because this is what we are here to do. We're here to be free and live our greatest lives, right? So this said, same thing, the rat, where there's love, there's a way. The rat is nature, is God. Let's ask that he finds a new home and we're free of him, that we get all the repairs done, right? But then we have to look at the metaphysical reasons the rat is in your life. So Google rat, look up what that is, because rats are extremely resourceful, right? They're super gifted. They will, they get stocks of things, abundance. I feel like him being in your house is all about, what you're going to do with your money, and he's helping you. His energy is helping you with your finances. Rodents are super abundant, right? They multiply, right? So I feel like his energy is helping you with that. It's not always what we would like and think. The best was when we had one in my kitchen at 2:00 in the morning, and I started screaming for my sister and throwing the chair. I was like, fuck! I'm like, get this thing out of here, right? I was crazy, right? All right.
He hasn't done any damage, but he said, he can see his pattern up against the wall.
But you haven't, that's
damage.
Damage that he's aware of. Do you see what I'm saying? That's his opinion. Right? Yeah. But let's ask God that we create it, that there is no damage, that you're free of damage, it gets fixed right away, that you're free of him, and thank you for his gifts, right? And that this is complete, right, from love, and that you have all the best tools, gifts, people, and ways to deal with this and take care of this from love in the purest form. Thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in the best way for us and all something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. And clear our blocks that stop that from happening. And thank you for the gift of abundance for all of us in the healthiest, best way from love. Thank you, God, for that for us. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm laughing because we have like 6 people that want fivers.
Oh, fivers, fivers. Yeah, that's one of our coin phrases we have here at our home in our shopping center. Jennifer really created it. Just like our Halloween costume contest and party. If you guys are in the area and you want to come, please do. Right? We're saying a prayer that we got a third space here that's going to be big enough for everybody to come. Thank you, God, for that for us, right? And it's going to be a dinner, and it's going to be an astrology. I think we put the advertisement out for it, you know. So it's going to be an astrology Halloween costume party where there's $300 gift certificates. It's going to be dinner and drinks, meaning non-alcohol drinks, so just regular drinks, you know, before any of you get really excited. So and it's going to, there's going to be like a dark energy psychic gallery. And what does that mean? I had somebody already ask me, like, what is dark energies? Like freaking out about dark energies. That's just, you could ask questions about ghosts, but you can ask anything really. It's kind of dark energies because it's Halloween, you know what I mean? It's about, you know, the dead and crossing over and ghosts and that kind of shit. So it's $50 a ticket, I believe, to come, and we would love everybody to come. But the theme is astrology. So anything astrology. It could be Greek gods, it could be stars, it could be the moon, it could be, you know, degrees of astrology or anything to do with it. Get creative with it, because everybody who comes is going to be the people who vote for the winners. And there'll be 3 winners. There'll be 3 $100 gift certificates to our shopping center. Actually, there'll be 2 $100 ones, and then one $50 and one $50, which is another $100 one, for the 3 best costumes, right? Because 3 is active number of God. And those are for services, as well as the gift certificates will be for services and merchandise at our shopping center. But the reason we're doing this is being guided by higher knowing to bring people to have fun, because we're not having any fun. I mean, 2 years in the house and you can't do this and you can't do that. And it's like, oh my God, you know? So being guided by higher power and love to change all this and step into our passion and have a great time all together, right? So I'm excited about that. So I just want to share with you. And it is October 30th from 7:30 to 9 p.m. We usually go over, so I would expect it to probably be about 2 hours. There's no extra charge for that if we do, but I don't make promises of extra time to anybody, because then people expect that and want that in their people spaces, right, over here in Earthworld. So, but this is what I'm guided by Spirit, so it's going to be a really good time. I'd love for you all to come. I get a lot of people who travel down here from Maryland and New Jersey and New York and Virginia, and some travel down to Florida, and they stop here as well. All over the country, people come here. So it's really cool, because you guys are my people and I'm your people, and I'm super grateful. So thanks. Thank you for coming. All right, I know we have some fivers. How much time do we got?
It's 8:35.
8:35, so we have some time. Okay, so what are you looking at me like that for?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing?
Nikki already booked her hotel for our Halloween party.
Oh, Nikki said she already booked a hotel for the Halloween party. Yay! All right, so go Nikki. Okay, getting back to the fivers. Who's next? Who's first?
Nikki.
Nikki. Nikki wants a fiver. All right, first thing that comes in, we are going to get the stuff done that you need to get done tomorrow for the paperwork that you need to get in. They want me to tell you with that. It's going to go smooth, it's going to be easy, and it's going to go in your favor. Thank you, God, for that for us from love, right? So that's the first thing they're guiding me to tell you. They're saying, don't stress it, let it go, let God. I am looking, there's something about your mother again, something going on with your mother in here. I'm supposing that you know exactly what that is. Are we having discrepancy with the gardening and the plantings and building your space? I feel like this is part of that. But not everybody is really truthful with their feelings and their energies in regards to building up the gardens and things. So take a look at that. There's something about the relationship with your mom and some stuff going on there. But you know, any kind of family stuff, there's a lot of this a lot of times. Let me see. Are you thinking about getting like a motorbike, like a motorized bike? I want to say like a moped or a scooter, because that comes in for you for traveling around into the future. So this comes in as something you were thinking about with this. And They're telling me you could, but don't spend a lot of money. I feel like you can get a better product that's older because everything's made in China now, so you get the quality of that. So older products are made with better quality, not all the time, but like 73 to 78% of the time, right? So this is what universe is telling me. So while you may think of buying this new fancy one, they're telling me to tell you go with like one that's like on Facebook, what is it, Marketplace or something like that online. Look around because you'll find a really good one that's going to be way better and way more reliable. It's kind of like 2 years ago, I think we spent, or 2 years ago, I think, less than 2 years ago, we bought a brand new washer and dryer, and it's all electronic, but it's been the biggest bane of my existence, or our existence. I mean, that fucking thing never works right. I have two that were in my old house from years ago that I had for 13 years, and no fucking problems. Maybe the guy came out once or twice to do one thing with the washer and one thing with the dryer in 13 fucking years. And here my thing isn't even a year old. Do you know how many times these fucking people have been out here to fix it? Five fucking times. Are you kidding me, Earthworld? Are you kidding me? Really? You know what I mean? So this said, go with product that is a little bit older, right? Look for the best product. Ask God for the best product for you. And this is for everybody too, man. Your best investments are like the tried and true. So many times the old world stuff. Anyone who knows me knows that I had a 1999 or 98 Toyota Camry. And I still have that car. That car is 25 years old. It is the most comfortable car I have. I have newer cars with all this electronic shit in it. We got in it. We're like, yeah, this is really neat. And like 2 seconds later, yeah, I'm like, I fucking hate this. All right. So I'm like, okay, clear this out, God. Right. So the bottom line is, right. Look for products and the cars are good and they're lovely for what they are really. But when you take a look at the quality of products, this little Camry that I have had for I think like 20 or 25 years has been a great car. It's built well. If you do the maintenance on it, you'll do great with whatever you buy. So this is for everybody across the board. Universe is guiding me to tell you this with Nikki's reading. Buy good products. Sometimes older products are far better than new. We always think, oh, the newest, greatest, latest thing. And then you're like, yeah, is that really true? Is that the best thing for me, right? All because you can have a $400,000 Land Rover doesn't mean it's a well-made product. And that is the best one for you. You feel in your heart. Maybe the $50,000 Land Rover is a better choice and far more economical. And when I say economical, meaning reasonable in price, right? So, but reasonable meaning feeling like this is what you feel like you should spend, or even $100,000, or if you feel that, right? So I'm just using this as an example because it's not about buying things for their dollar worth and value. It's about buying things because we feel in our heart what is the right thing or best thing for us from love and most abundant, and putting it out there to spirit. And if you're meant to get the new one because it's the best product, you will. Do you see? So with our washer and dryer, I mean, you know, this is part of our journey. My house is magic, as many of you know. So I feel like some of this is the challenges of the house. So there's lots of work on personal level, just like I tell you all the time, or I tell my people all the time, right? I am a human being first. We all have issues. We all have stuff going on. We are all amazing souls, amazing beings of God. And all because I'm a metaphysical teacher doesn't mean that I'm not human and I don't have shit to do and work on. We all do. And right now, we are all going through so many of our greatest challenges. So there's challenges with all different energies, right? So, and then I have to say to myself, where am I having problems washing and drying? Where am I not getting clean? Or where am I not drying, you know what I mean? Or drying something. These are all different ways. Or where am I drying up, right? So these are all different messages that I should look into with all this stuff, right? So, let me see. I wanted to see if there's anything else for Nikki right now. Also, it comes in, do you put candy canes in your front yard, Christmas candy canes? We just bought a whole bunch in the other day at some yard sale we rode by. I think we got these crazy big candy canes, and they're like this big, and they're candy cane. But I see them in your front yard, so if you don't have them, I feel like you'll be putting them out in your yard. But there's some kind of connection. And this has to do with father energy from past lifetimes. Okay, so think about that, and when we have more time, Nick, we can look into that. All right, girl? Love you. All right.
Brandy Rosier, I believe is how you pronounce your last name, is asking for a 5 or 2.
All right. Let's see. Brandy, what comes in for you? I hope you're ready for this. You're a hopeless romantic. All right, that's what they say to me. You're like a hopeless romantic, and that's not a bad thing. Love is a great thing. It would not surprise me if you had your Venus in Cancer, or your in astrology, or you had your Venus in Pisces, or your Venus in Leo, right? Or other placements that are like this, that are all about love. Right? Because the second I get in your name and I get the name Brandy, there's an old world song that universe shows me. And it goes, it's that, yeah, I don't know who sings it, but it goes, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Right? And the girl is like delusional about this sailor guy, right? And the sailor guy, his real love is the sea, but, you know, she's in love with him. And he's like, I can't be that partner. That's the whole story behind it. But it's a really old song. I think it's like from the 70s, right? A lot of you guys won't even know it, but look it up, because your name comes in with that, and they say to me, this is where the romantic stuff comes in. So with your relationship, it behooves you to take a look at this in terms of, it's not that it's a bad to be a hopeless romantic, but we need to be in the God's honest truth of it, be real with it, right? Where we're seeing things for the truth of what they are, not necessarily the illusions or disillusions or buying into beliefs of what we think is going on. You know, you want to be sure of the truth of God and or truth of love within your relationships is what they're saying. So let me just see what comes in with that. When I say truth of what's in your relationships, so that you can make the best choices from love for you. But it does come in as that. And what's funny is your last name is Rosier, right?
Rosier?
Rosier?
R-O-S-I-E-R.
I think that's like Rosier.
Okay.
Or maybe she'll probably, I think she'll know how to say it right? I hope so, right? All right. So, but what comes in is the reason you have this self-love stuff going on is because in your first name, right? So your relationships, being wrapped up in your relationships, is you give everything to everybody and nothing but you, more often than not. And so this is about stepping into your best love energy self, right? And the Rosier, again, like the street sign, for Steve, Rosier, Roses, right? Or Rosier life, right? So Brandy, right, being like a romantic and being all about love and great things, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a blessing. But where you want to be is in the healthiest space of it, so that you can have the best relationship or relationships for you always, right? And this is designed to take a look at that for you, because you're going to be going down the road into a more of a self-love energy space. That's where the last name is Rosier. Your first name, again, is the beginning of your life. Your middle name is the middle of your life, and the end of your life is the end of your life, right? But you can add as many partners' names to that as you want, but it's not necessary, and it's not really the healthiest thing you can do, because that's like, in some way, shape, or form, it's taking on that energy, right? So as a golden rule, remember, more often than not, in Earth world and everywhere, simple is better, right? Like, I could sit here and talk about this mug for 3 hours on my show, but then none of you would come. So I don't spend time talking about it. It's a mug. You see, it's a mug. Simple, practical, to the point, for the best teaching and understanding for all of us.
She said her last name means rosebush.
Oh my God, that's great. And your last name means rosebush is what she just said. Isn't that incredible? Right. So roses are about self-love. So this is about a self-love journey for you. I'm sure you're a beautiful girl. I'm sure that you've had lots of relationships in your life. And if not, you will, right? Or you have the propensity to have them, because this is all about you learning to love you. And I totally get that story. Fuck, my Venus is in Libra, right? And it's conjunct my sun. It's like, right? It's like, yeah, because my whole first half of my life was about love and delusional love, and I just loved being in love, and I didn't necessarily love the person, but I couldn't get that shit together. You know what I mean? But really, that's the space I was in. But that was one of my greatest gifts spiritually, because that helped me to get into my self-love space for me, right? To help me go down that path, because the more relationships I had, the more guys that weren't there for me, or partners that weren't there for me from love, right? And didn't do the the right thing, and the more painful my relationships got, like they couldn't be there, or they didn't do the right thing, or there was fighting, or there was abuse, or there was just garbage across the board. It was like, but yet I would stay with them over and over and over until one day I didn't, right? And so I got a clue, right? And this is my journey, right? So this is part of yours, and believe it or not, this is part of everybody's Earth World journey. This isn't just a Brandy thing, but this is a primary part of your journey, which really, self-love is the core of the spiritual journey. Everybody understand that? Yeah, it totally is. Because if you don't love you, there is no you. So this is why when they say, oh, you should get the shot to save everybody else, you get the shot. There is no you. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't do things for other people at the expense of yourself, not in the healthiest self-love place, right? And this is what universe teaches me to share with the world, because this is what I do. I teach love in the highest order. So when people start telling me their shit about what's going on in the world, I'm like, I listen to higher knowing. And it's okay if you have these beliefs or anybody has these beliefs, but my job is to bring this information to you, to share it with you, so you can feel in your heart and make your wisest choices for you. So I hope that explains to everybody why this is. You never, ever, 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 ever sacrifice yourself for anybody else, right? What you do is you do things from love because you want to, right? And it's a positive, healthy energy exchange. Then there is no sacrifice, right? And in the new world, being in your heart is where you will be, and we are going, and we are. And this is all about love, the new world. So you won't do shitty things to other people if you're in your heart. You won't stab people in the back and have a secret alternative you. This is all the shit that's going on in the world. And where people say, oh, I'm your friend Lynn, and I really love you. Meanwhile, they're like promoting somebody else, and they wouldn't tell anybody that they had an appointment with me. They're like, oh, like I'm fucking taboo, right? So, and I get the spiritual stuff, but, the bottom line is, universe tells us everything about what's going on in this world, and we're dumping our shit in our souls, guided by the stars, okay? So all this is happening, guided by the stars, but this journey you are going on into the future, and you've already been on it, this self-love journey then this is all about the new relationships about God, and with God, or with love, right? The new world relationships are not going to necessarily be about marriage. Shocker, right? And the old world ways of you belong to me. Nobody fucking belongs to anybody. I don't own you. You don't own me. This is about, I want to be with you from love, whoever it is. And you want to be with me. And if you can't be that guy, that's okay. Or that partner, that's okay. You're not the best person from love for me. And it just means, great, I gotta go. See you later. All right. So this is all part of these journeys for the new world, the new relationships, the greatest us. The self-love journey is what it's all about. See these walls behind me? That's why they're pink. They're like a pinkish lavender, right? This place, what we teach is love. It's all about self-love, right? Okay. So I hope you like your reading. If you have more questions in guidance to this, but they're telling me you've been wondering, about this kind of stuff and what's going on with you, and this will help you see the truth more clear. And then, and right now for you, that's most important, is what they're telling me in our 5-minute reading. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Mark is asking for a $5, and he apologizes that he can't comment. It's because he's banned on Facebook.
Mark, we have a seat for you here. I don't know why you're not here, Mark. Giving you a hard time. Okay. So Mark got banned from Facebook. That's why he's not on Facebook today with us. However, his seat is here. I just told him. So to thank you, Mark, for acknowledging that you're here. Did he have a question?
Asking for a $5.
Okay. Mark. What's going on with Mark? Lucky Dog is healing. Believe it or not, all those prayers came in for Lucky Dog, your dog Lucky. Mark has a dog named Lucky, and he has 3 legs, and he's an adoption dog, but he had to go through he went through a heartworm treatment program, and and those things are, anything chemical makes me like cringe. This is why you always talk to God or universe about everything as much as possible. Ask love if you should do these things. Because I say what somebody's doing here, it doesn't mean that I endorse what is done, right? So, and this is for all of us. We all must make our own decisions and follow our hearts, okay? That said, Mark's dog Lucky, of course he's a lucky dog. He got Mark's like treats him like gold, right? But so that said, Lucky was going through some heartworm treatments and he wasn't feeling really good, and I feel like he's over the fence or over the hill or over the mountain, and I feel like he's going to be recovering. But this is really about getting Lucky on the healthiest, best diet, because I do feel like into the future there could be some stuff that comes up as a deficit of this. Anytime you use toxic medicines and just like inoculations, right, it doesn't mean that they're bad. You have to help yourself. And like the same thing with the COVID shot. When I talk about the COVID shot, there's new ways coming in. It's not like your death sentence, so to speak. I never would advise you to get it because of what I teach and do. However, just like with Lucky, there's tools, natural tools, and energy work, and people that are all working on this stuff, who are energy workers, who are love energy beings, who are spiritual, who are and with the energy that's coming in, they're all devising methods of how to heal this shit. Because while the darkness thinks it's winning, not a chance in hell. So any only thing that's a death sentence is when you believe you're going to cross over and you create the death sentence. Not getting the COVID shot, really. If you choose that, then this is part of your destiny for what you need to do with your soul, right? It's way beyond the stuff that they teach you in Earth World. However, like I said, I told you the truth a few minutes ago about what universe guides to me. You never sacrifice your health for anybody or anything, and you always follow your heart and talk to God. So if you listen to your answer and you make your wisest choice for you from love. And that said, so I'm telling you about Lucky with this because it's time to get Lucky on healthier stuff to keep and help him keep his health building up. So, and if you need diets and diet food for Lucky dog, and things that are going to be best for Lucky to help him, I'll gladly work with you. Just let me know. You can always ask here, or you can come in and talk to me or see us and in your travels with Ray, right? All right. So go ahead. Who's next for reading?
Rebecca Smith, who is friends with Wendy Hall, is asking for a 5. She said she loves Wendy.
Oh, Wendy. Is this girl around here?
Nope.
She's Florida?
Yep. She's the one that's messaging.
Yeah, that's funny because then your other friend is around here, right? And works with you, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to place that energies because I think you've been talking about 3 different people overall. So she's in Florida. Is it by Tallahassee where she is?
No, Tampa.
How far down is Tampa?
Like the center. State.
Has she been thinking about moving? Because I feel like there's something about Tallahassee, and that's why it comes in. When I pull this shit out of the blue, and people go, "Oh, Lynn, you're wrong." No, Lynn isn't wrong. Okay, it's universe telling me information for them of what's coming, right? Or opportunities, So makes sense. So I feel like something is going to bring her up to Tallahassee. And again, so after that wrong joke, no, Lynn isn't wrong. This is, when I say shit like that, it's to make people laugh, just so you know. But when I say the wrong thing, remember too, nothing is wrong. It's about being in the best space of love, okay? So when people say, oh, that's not right, or I need to do the right thing, just so you know, there is no right and wrong. It's about doing the best thing from the pure space of love. And that's really what that is. So everybody knows that. So that is the new world right. It's always been that though. Okay. So that said, let me just get back to, what is her name? Rebecca. And last name?
Smith.
Okay. And this makes sense. Rebecca, does she ever go by Becky? Yeah, that's what's coming in for her is Becky, and then Tallahassee. So something is going to bring you, I feel like, to Tallahassee. Tallahassee is like northern more Florida, isn't it? Across the
up in the panhandle.
Yeah, in the panhandle. So something's going to bring her there, or something. It's so wild, and I'm like, what is that, God? What is going to bring her there? That's coming in the future. Also, I don't know if you have any family in Oklahoma. There's traveling coming in for you. So I would get my astrology chart because I feel like you're going to be traveling more now. There's something about Oklahoma for you, and Tallahassee. All right. Also with your name, with Rebecca and with Smith, this is about opening up your heart and getting into out of the traditional, into the new ways, being creative, finding out who you truly are, and being in your heart space. And this has everything to do with the traveling. Does that make sense to you, Wendy?
She's creative. She likes to do creative stuff.
Yeah, and that should make sense to you, Rebecca. And if not, it's coming for you. There's something about traveling, getting out, having a good time. Again, the universe wants us to live in our hearts. Okay, so there's this traveling. There's something that's going to bring you, and this has everything to do with experiencing and learning and growing and doing what you love. I also see it like trips and day trips, but there's something really important. So put a star in your whatever it is, your phone or wherever you write your personal stuff down, and write Tallahassee down. But and this is for all of you too. You can always see the replays. I hate to say reruns because it's like all the same old shit, right? But you can see the replays on my YouTube lives, right? Or Practical Spirituality Live, right? So you can see them by subscribing to my YouTube, and you can see the replay on this. So if you miss some stuff, you can go in there and write it down what I said for you. Also, you can share it with other people, as well as go back, because it's a lot of information. And information we get today into the future, right? We understand differently in this moment versus, let's say, 3 months from now, 6 months. You can re-look at these videos and you'll be like, holy shit, I don't remember Lynn saying that. Or you wouldn't have been open to this space of the thing that universe is teaching through me here now, right? So what happens is you wouldn't be open to that. And as you grow spiritually, then all of a sudden you can hear things you couldn't hear, or see things or understand things you couldn't understand before. And this, again, is for all of us, as well as you, Rebecca, because you're going to be going on a spiritual track. So I feel like spiritual doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I'm gonna visit the church or do church things, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna like literally come here and do spiritual things. What it means is it's also, there's a connection for you about connecting to nature and all that is God, and that's where your spiritual comes from. So this is there's exciting times for you. There is healing for you with everything that you have going on, but with your healing, you must get in your heart, or there is a propensity for recurring toxic events to happen in your life, because you got to start loving you and being in your heart for you and living. And when we don't do that, it comes out some way, shape, or form in our energy. So follow your heart, girl. And they're telling me, you got this. Don't be afraid. You got this. Okay? All right.
The last person asking for a $5 is Teresa Courtney Wood.
Teresa.
Another birthday firework?
Another birthday present, huh? One isn't enough? Just fucking with you. All right. Let's see. What's for Teresa? Very first thing that comes in is books. If you haven't started writing, if you don't have a notebook, get it. And this has everything to do with your granddaughter, and writing the stuff that she says. You can also ask me about it, but I feel like you're super powerful. You don't really even need me, right? If you do what's you use your own gifts and do what Spirit teaches through me, and this is for all you. Fly, right? Okay. So yeah, there's something about books for you and art for her. The art is going to help her heal her, but I feel like the pictures that she's going to paint are going to go in the books. And the books and the things are this for like children and the new age children. I don't know what they're called. I know that there's like Rainbow Kids and there's Star Seeds, like there's Millennials, and then there's, Generation Xers. There's all these different terms for this. Oh, what is your generation? Z? So what is the next generation? Like, it makes me wonder so generation is like 10.
They established them later on.
Oh, they established them later on as to who these ones are?
Yeah.
Okay, so But this is about connections and helping people to see gifted. Just like my show does this, it helps people to connect in a different way with the world and see the world differently, right? A lot of people might think I'm crazy or whatever, right? But the world is changing to these spaces, okay? And into a whole new world based in love. And part of this journey is, if you choose this, and your grandchildren or granddaughter chooses this as well to work with you, I feel like this is massive in your destiny and massive in both of your healing with all this. And this is about past life connections, past life healing. It is also about the collective and sharing information so that other people can understand the gifts in their grandchildren and their children, and instead of shutting them down and thinking that some kid is really depressed or sick or unwell or has bipolar or schizophrenia, this is about teaching them how to work with their gifts from a different way and space from love, right? When schizophrenia and bipolar becomes super toxic, and there's all different variations of it in the belief systems here in Earth world and in Earth world society, but the truth of God is you heal all the stuff that's toxic within the space in our souls, and the gifts come out of metaphysical, and they're unbelievable. And this is truth of your granddaughter. She has incredible gifts. So as you guys walk down this journey, you're going to help people understand all these different things about being metaphysical and being a kid, and how, like, for example, my youngest daughter, she would wear what you call, I think it's is it a hijab? And I think I've said this before. When she was like 4 years old, she would put on this scarf, right? That was like a hijab, and she would walk around the house with it when she was younger. And I would be like, what the hell, right? But these are the things that parents squash, and they don't understand what the fuck is wrong with my kid. Nobody is of this heritage in my family. So why is my child doing this? My child is doing this is because there's a connection to that energy. There's healing and gifts and magic from lifetimes ago in that child, and it exists in here. And by her wearing this hijab, right, she's pulling out that energy. She's channeling that energy. She's telling me what's the truth about what's going on in her soul, right? And she's, 4 fucking years old? That's incredible, right? But what happens is we start to freak out because we don't understand these things. That's why this channel is here. That's why we're doing this work. So please share it, man, because there's nothing wrong with these people. They just need to heal the stuff or change the stuff or be free of the stuff that's toxic, that creates this stuff like beliefs and energies in them that don't serve them, that are part of these gifts, right? So like they say, there's dark and light in everyone and everything. So based on our experiences and the stuff we carry around in our souls from lifetimes, right? What we do with this energy, right? Like I could be toxic all the time and be nasty to people all the time, but if I choose to change that consciousness in me and ask God to come from love, then I've changed everything that I am, right? And my whole destiny, and it affects everything in my life. So this is what I'm talking about, right? This is all part of the work that we do, right? And this is all part of what everybody here on this channel and who comes to my lives and to all our classes and all our things learns, because this is about the true law of metaphysical and love, or love energy, as well as balancing gifts and tools and Saturn's Earth world metaphysical law of universe, as well as, metaphysical law of universe that is all that is God, right? So this is about balancing Earth world dimension in all that is, or in all that is love or God. So in these spaces, this is all what we need to learn, and for all of us. And so this is why we're sharing this. They don't teach you this in Earth world because they're trying to take over the world. They're trying to make it a toxic space. And that's our jobs, right? You feel in your heart, you know what you're here to do. So you're going to share these amazing books with the world and put them together. It's going to be healing for you, healing for your daughter, as well as learning and growing on your spiritual journey. And I'm excited to see how this goes. And just like the beautiful girl Cheyenne who made these like wooden tarot cards, right? They're absolutely gorgeous. This is the kind of stuff your granddaughter is a powerful, amazing artist. And just like this girl Cheyenne, I see her work being in the books, as well as her like taking off and you supporting her and teaching people worldwide about spiritual stuff in these children's books. Like, and they're positive and healthy, coming from love, not hate. Love, right? Because that's where the new world is going. So when you see hate shit in schools, hate books, you don't subscribe to that shit. Hate is hate, no matter how you label it. Whether it's BLM or whatever the fuck it is, hate is hate, right? Doesn't matter what kind of hate, or unwell is unwell, right? And how do you know if it's the truth of God? You ask love. Hey, is this hate? Is this toxic? Is this unwell? But you will feel it way before then in your heart, whether anything and everything that's happening out in this world, right? Yeah, truth of God, right? You don't believe me? Ask love, ask God, ask universe, right? We can have all kinds of convoluted habits, patterns, beliefs, consciousness, and energies in our souls that create us to be disillusioned and not see truth of love. That's why we're all here. All these high light energy beings at all different levels of love, right, are here to change this world, raise the vibration, see that these changes come in, because the battle is already won, because it's, God is everything that is. Love is everything that is. So there's no way darkness is going to beat the fuck out of love. Just doesn't happen, because that's why this is happening, to be free of the darkness, to live in a whole new world based in love, so all of us come together and can live our dreams and be happy, really. Okay? All right, girl, I hope you liked that reading. Anything else, or we're good? Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Please share my shit. I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I love you guys very much. And again, any questions, do ask. And we'll see you next week at 7:15, guided by the stars. And so be it, or amen. So be it. Thank you, God, for that for us. All right, good night.